Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
Good morning and thanks for waking up with us. I'm Justine Stewart.
And I'm Lou Stewart. Hopefully you're having a great start to your Thursday. A little bit chilly out there, but just seemed like we've been talking about, should see another fall-like day this afternoon.
Oh, that'll be nice to get outside and enjoy that.
Yeah, it was a little bit cool yesterday. Temperatures a little bit cool this afternoon in the 50s.
Yeah.
Warming it up though tomorrow in the 60s,
Okay.
and then we're going to see another system roll in for the weekend, so just be prepared for that. But like we were just talking about, with how bad this past fire season was, even though we're going to cool it down this weekend, rain, snow, no one's really arguing with that. Now let's go ahead and talk about your forecast headlines, because yes, we have another nice fall day today. Partly to mostly cloudy. Temperatures will be cool in the 50s, below average, but overall not too bad. Now this is what we're looking at tomorrow. Sunny, but the winds are going to pick up on Friday and Saturday as the system moves through. So we do have a high wind watch in place, and then again watching that weekend system for scattered showers and temperatures in the lower 50s, and yes, breezy again. Here's your Thursday forecast. Mostly cloudy in Missoula with 56, 59 Kalispell, 56 in Hamilton. We'll see 57 in Polson.
Investigators in Las Vegas looking into the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history, and they're hoping the shooter's girlfriend can offer up some hints as to why he did it. Some in law enforcement remain convinced 64-year-old Stephen Paddock did not act alone. Mola Lengi is in Las Vegas with the latest.
Investigators in Las Vegas continue to comb through the life and hotel room of gunman Stephen Paddock, trying to figure out why he carried out Sunday's massacre.
We don't have any immediately accessible thumbprints that would indicate the shooter's ideology or motivation.
President Trump visited the city Wednesday to meet with survivors and first responders as authorities provided fresh insight into the fateful night. They say there's evidence Paddock planned to escape rather than killing himself as officers closed in. Officials add none of the cameras Paddock brought to his room for surveillance were recording. Clark County Sheriff Joseph Lombardo says it's hard to imagine one man alone could stockpile so much weaponry.
You got to make the assumption he had to have some help at some point.
Investigators are now hoping Paddock's girlfriend can yield some answers. She voluntarily flew back to the U.S. from the Philippines Tuesday night and met with the FBI for hours of questioning. Just before the shooting, Paddock sent Mary Lou Danley to her native country to visit family. He also wired her money. Through her lawyer, Danley insisted she thought this was Paddock's way of preparing her for a breakup.
It never occurred to me in any way whatsoever that he was planning violence against anyone.
Law enforcement says Paddock stockpiled 47 guns since 1982 and bought 33 of them over the past year alone. Mola Lengi, CBS News, Las Vegas.
Investigators say the weekend before the shooting, Paddock had rented a high-rise condo in a building that overlooked a different music festival, though they wouldn't speculate as to why. The Whitefish community getting a new elementary school after voters did pass a $26.5 million bond measure. The current school, Molddown Elementary, had a number of issues ranging from leaking roofs to heating problems and crowded hallways and classrooms. The vote passed with just over 61% voting in favor of the new school. The new school will be built just 100 yards from the current one, and some of the building will be saved for another use not yet decided on. Superintendent of Whitefish Schools Heather Schmidt says she is thankful for the community investing in a need for education at the elementary level.
Just really excited and really appreciative of the Whitefish community, and very thankful to the voters. We know that this is such an incredible need for our students, and we just really appreciate the voters making this investment in the future of our kids.
The process from start to finish is projected to take 30 months. The school district is shooting to complete the school by the fall of 2020. After more than a year of testing and analysis, the Environmental Protection Agency is presenting its plan for cleaning up the old Smurfette stone mill site. The plans outline how contaminants will be taken from the core of the mill site and moved to a special waste area at the Missoula landfill. While the company that purchased the mill, M2 Green, has struggled with plans to scrap the mill and turn the site into a technology center, Missoula County leaders, the Clark Fork Coalition, and other agencies have pressed for the site to be cleaned of industrial waste. Testing last year showed specific areas of the site that are contaminated with PCBs, which are known to cause cancer. The plan is to dig out the sites with the highest concentration of contaminants and then truck that soil to the landfill, replacing the dirt with clean soil. EPA leaders will discuss the cleanup plan in a meeting with the Smurfette Stone Community Advisory Group at the Frenchtown Fire Station tonight at 6. After exploring the idea for 3 years, Mountain Line is pressing ahead with plans to add its first electric buses. Mountain Line managers have been tracking the development of electric buses since 2014, when they invited maker Proterra to bring one of its commercially viable coaches to Missoula for demonstration. Then last fall, the Associated Students of the University of Montana took the plunge into electric buses, adding its first Proterra coach to the UDash fleet in September. Now Mountain Line General Manager Corey Aldridge tells us the transit system has been awarded a $500,000 low or no emission grant to purchase 2 of its own buses.
Our board of directors has been really focused on ways that we can reduce our carbon footprint and improve air quality in the community. And the main way we can do that is through electrifying our buses. And so we have been looking for funding opportunities and are really excited to receive this grant.
It will be 12 to 18 months before the new electric buses are delivered. Well, for the 3rd straight year, Florence Carlton School's junior Rocky Mountain Ecosystems class gets out of the classroom for a hands-on experience working with Clark Fork Coalition on a restoration project on sections of Lolo Creek affected by the 2013 Lolo Creek Complex fire. MTN's Russ Thomas has more on the visit.
In 2015, Florence Carlton juniors and seniors began a project that aimed to stabilize the Lolo Creek stream bank along the area impacted by the 2013 Lolo Creek Complex fire. The goal is to prevent erosion and filter sediment from the creek. This is the 2nd year they have gone back to the site to analyze how the project is going. This gives them the opportunity to get out of the classroom and into a hands-on setting.
They scratch the bark, see if there's some green cambrium underneath. Check the leaves. They'll be noting species of plant and also comparing those numbers to last year's survival rate.
For the 20-plus students involved in the restoration project, there is a sense of pride in helping the Clark Fork Coalition with this project. Students are curious about what impact our dry, smoky summer had on vegetation growth.
I really want to learn about how the trees are doing and how they're growing and stuff. I think that's really interesting to see how the whole this whole area, how it's so affected, how it is going to come back.
Rocky Mountain Ecosystems teacher Vanessa Hafley works closely with the Clark Fork Coalition to make this joint effort happen.
Not only do they get to be involved in watershed restoration and kind of get that sense of community, but they're also learning a lot of those methods that scientists use to analyze how well a stream is going through restoration.
Students spent several hours collecting data, including checking survival rates, taking photos, and collecting water samples at 4 separate sites within a mile-wide area. The Clark Fork Coalition project manager says the data they collect goes directly to the Department of Environmental Quality.
Everything that they're doing, this is not an exercise. This is real-world stuff, and I think it's some really good experience for them.
This is the final year the students will be collecting data. They feel that the work they have put in will have a positive long-term impact on the ecosystem. Outside of Lolo, Russ Thomas, MTN News.
All right, good morning, everyone. Hopefully you're having a great start to your Thursday. It was a beautiful day yesterday. We saw some clear skies in the morning. Clouds increased during the afternoon, but temperatures were slightly warmer, up in the 50s. How about this? Great picture sent in to us from Sherry. This is of the Lee Metcalf Wildlife Refuge there. You got the snow on top of the mountains. It was another beautiful fall day. Looks like it's going to be another fall day today. Nice fall day. However, we're going to see not these clear skies. We're going to keep clouds in the forecast pretty much throughout your Thursday. Temperatures across the state were mostly in the 30s and 40s this morning. Still chilly in Havre, 21, but not 9 degrees like they were yesterday morning. And moving in a little bit closer, at 38 Missoula, 36 Hamilton, 37 in Polson, 38 also in Kalispell, 31 Seeley Lake, 35 in Phillipsburg. So let's go ahead and time out the next couple of days for you, because we do have these rain showers and some snow showers starting to develop by tomorrow afternoon and rolling into Saturday. So future track satellite and radar will stop this afternoon at around 12:30. Notice still about a 20 to 30% chance of seeing a light rain shower or high elevation snow shower in southwestern Montana. Everywhere else here in western Montana looks to be, like I mentioned, mostly to partly cloudy with temperatures in the 50s. Now we'll start to clear it out tonight. Tomorrow, beautiful. We're going to start the day, sunny skies, temperatures making up into the 60s. But remember, by late afternoon, around 5 p.m., you see this front up here. As that approaches, the winds are going to pick up. So again, we're going to see those winds gusting upwards around 30 to possibly even 40 miles per hour by tomorrow afternoon in northwestern and north central Montana. Then as this front approaches, everywhere in western Montana, winds are going to pick up for Saturday. Also, the cold front's going to roll through, cooling off the temperatures, and scattered rain showers and snow showers will develop as well. Here's your 7-day forecast for Missoula. 56 today, 63 tomorrow, 54 on Saturday, then 50 on Sunday. It looks like Missoula, our best chance of seeing rain is going to be on Sunday. Now, Kalispell, your best chance of seeing any rain showers is going to be on Saturday with a high temperature of 56, 53 on Sunday, and we'll keep those temperatures in the 50s. Rolling into next week in Hamilton, we'll see 56 today, 63 tomorrow, about a 30% chance of seeing a shower on both Saturday and Sunday with a high of just 49 Sunday, back into the 50s by Monday.
All right, well, thanks, Lewis, and make sure you stick around. We're, of course, back with more. But first, here's some birthday shout-outs for you this morning.